My favorite costume as a kid was definitely to be a zombie because I liked to put on the glue and stuff and peel it off and have it all drenched on my face. And also I felt like a movie star, like on the set of Walking Dead, sitting there ready to get glorified. Is it glorified? Yeah, glorified. In this picture, I am a wizard that I was so excited to be because Harry Potter was out. I was ready to cast spells. I believed witches were real. And I also got to wear this really cool robe with stars on it. It was kind of like a dress. And I would sleep in it. I think I peed in it once. It was my favorite thing. And my dad thought it'd be cool to put white makeup on and add like electricity going down my face.
We would just take what we had around the house. So I was a hobo quite often because all that was daddy's t-shirt, a pillow tucked into my pants, and you know, I'd take my mom's, you know, like mascara or eyeliner or whatever and make a beard and wear a hat, and I was a hobo. I mean, that's just what we did.
The picture that I sent you is truly the only one that I have. I'm a hobo, so pretty much what I was wearing that day, put some pigtails on my head, give me a Christmas stocking, and go trick-or-treating. I mean, it's easy peasy, cheap. I have absolutely zero memories of Halloween from my childhood. But I remember the guy who used to live on our couch when I was growing up, his stepdad would dress up like a gorilla and jump out of the tree at trick-or-treaters and scare the crap out of them.
So I have no idea how old I was in this photo. I appear to be about 5. I do know from my mom telling me that I've always been obsessed with Halloween, and I was actually a witch 7 years in a row. That's why I'm not sure how old I was. My mom used to catch me reading my dad's Stephen King books as well. So I think they thought I was gonna grow up and be a little serial killer. I did the kind of costumes that I feel like other kids were making fun of me for. I very vividly remember being Pat. Do you remember It's Pat? Like, is it a man, is it a woman? That character. No one my age knew what I was, but I had full padded vest and fro. Pretty embarrassing, but I loved Halloween.
So my favorite Halloween costume from when I was a kid, I'm dressed in this like orange hula skirt and like this little flower crown. I think the reason that it's my favorite is because I'm not exactly sure what it is. In this picture, I look like I'm probably about like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11, and I'm dressed as a hippie, and I'm throwing up like the peace sign because I'm super cool. But man, I thought I was the coolest kid, and I was not. Nothing's changed.
So this is my favorite Halloween photo. Honestly, I've never seen a cuter pumpkin. I'm just saying. Orange isn't my color, but I look adorable.
My favorite Halloween costume was probably something that I made, a bandana or a towel probably that I put around my head and punched holes in it for eyeballs or so that I could see. Another towel that I had around my neck. This is dirt poured over here. That I would safety pin, and I made it a cape. And I put the long underwear on, and I just made myself into like Superman, had some athletic socks on all the way up to my knees. And I was like a super kid.
I went to a toga party in a chicken costume, like full on mascot with the head on and a toga on over it, and that one was my favorite. It was really funny, but then like I had to take my head off to have a drink, so I went with the bit for like 5 minutes. I wouldn't tell anybody who I was. I was just a random chicken in a toga costume, but then I had to take my head off.
So my mom's super African, so obviously Halloween's like not really a holiday for us, but I got this Peter Pan costume from school because I was in Peter Pan and I was Peter Pan. So my mom let me be Peter Pan until I was like 8 or 9 and I was like growing out of the costume.
I never was allowed to dress up, so one time I went to a friend's house and really went to a party, and I was supposed to have a costume, so I just dressed up as Forrest Gump and stole a trucker hat and a plaid shirt from my dad and took a box of chocolates.
Oh, I went as Troy Aikman in like 1993, right in Troy's heyday. Homemade costume with like a painted on 8, and we had this like really terrible helmet on.
When I grew up, it was all the cheap like plastic costumes and the plastic mask that would dig into you, and you'd get hit by a car because you can't see out of the eye holes very well. So I don't think any of them were really good because we didn't have money to get like a good costume.
I think my favorite costume as a kid was I would just get a scary mask every year and just be a monster.
My favorite costume as a kid, I have two. One was Baby Sinclair from the dinosaur show. Do you remember that show? He's the baby that had the frying pan and would hit his dad on the head and say, "Knock the mama." And then my other favorite one, in 3rd grade, I dressed up as Jim Carrey from Batman Forever. This is me dressed up as a court jester. This is me rollerblading as a ghost. And this is me as a lion petting a goat.
I guess I didn't really celebrate Halloween in Mexico, and I don't know if that's on my mom or if that's a cultural thing, but the earliest Halloween costume that I can remember is when I started dating Kinsey. My favorite is when I was Borat. Very nice, high five.